When you come out of school, I don't think your parents will disown you if you don't start earning immediately. There are several organizations out there in government, even in the private sector, who need people to do something, but they don't have the hefty amount of money that our youth want immediately out of school.
There is that perception among young people that there are no jobs out there, which is true, partially. Indeed, our labor market cannot absorb the number of students that our tertiary institutions are churning into the labor market. You know that government can only accommodate slightly over 300,000 workers, and it is the largest employer.
The education system for it is still a bit theoretical, and very little is being done on ensuring that the young people are given skills, practical skills, that will actually enable them to find employment, meaningful employment.
What is running right now, if you're not known, you don't get the chance. That is the one major problem. It is actually the topmost problem, because now employees these days tend to employ those they know, their relatives and what. So us who do not have anyone connected, any connection to these chances, we do not get the employment.
Main problem of the youths as to why they don't get jobs today, it's high education. Some they are proud. They are proud of their education, so some end up undermining jobs they get. So even because they know they are educated, they feel they are waiting for white-collar jobs.
The employment rate is very low. So I decided maybe to look into agriculture. This is what I did. I have a passion fruit plantation, and I also have area. I do piggery. So I sat down and so that maybe in case I'm unable to pursue in the terms of jobs, I have a backup plan for myself. And the backup plan is agriculture. So what most youth fail to understand in the current situation is that they normally focus on the education and only await the life after graduation. But the life after graduation becomes hard.
I had to volunteer for almost 6 years, volunteering, non-paid volunteering. I started volunteering with this same organization I'm now working for after finishing my A-level exams. So I grew as I was volunteering. I go to school, I come back, I keep on volunteering. I keep doing whatever I can, and I was building myself, I think, because after graduating, I just got opportunity. I didn't have to look for a job, but I attribute it to the volunteering.
After my course of electrical engineering, I looked for jobs and I had nowhere to get the job. So behind my story, I had a passion in art. So I started doing art with what I had, with some materials, some little materials I had.
But also the same message is passed on to the youth who continue to despise some of the jobs. Even when the jobs are available, some of them are lazy, they are docile, they are not that aggressive, and they do not actually want to consider those jobs. We're saying no, the youth should actually wake up themselves and stop despising these jobs. Anything that can bring in a coin is a job, for as long as it does not contravene with the laws and the laws of the country.
And when you look at Uganda, the level of unemployment is quite big. And when CD sat down, it thought of a vocational skill that has not yet been tapped, and it looked at gardening and landscaping. This is basically designing people's compounds in a layman's language. That is what you can understand. What can you put in what compound, and how do you design the different compounds that are around us?
This course, as you see it, we study as we work. So there is that provision that you can study at the same time you're working. I encourage many youths to involve themselves in technical things, hand-on things.
I'm doing landscape from being a job seeker to a job creator. And in doing landscaping, there are so many opportunities whereby they are training us as youths not to cry over to the government that come and help us, come and give us helping hand. Because in the landscape, we have different things that we can do. A person, you can create your own job and you start operating and you also help other people.
We use hardscape like slabs, pavers.
We can easily see around because we have some herbs. These herbs, when you grow them and you process them, we can start selling the herbs as a processed herb, as a medicine to the people, because different people are having diseases.
One of the greatest challenges which we are finding in the youth is that you are having skills which are not matched with the demand. And this is more in you people who are at the university. So we have to move to know what is demanded, and the demand is in area where you are. What is demanded at Chambogo University is not what is demanded in the village of Yumbe.
That's why some of us started institutions that help them to know that even where you think there is nothing to be benefited out of. For instance, young people keep throwing waste anywhere, plastic materials everywhere, tires everywhere. Actually, tires are used for demonstrations and public strikes. But we are saying that you can manipulate, for instance, these tires and use them, recycle them. You can make a beautiful table. You can make a beautiful chair out of it. You can make beautiful shoes out of this. So we are encouraging these young people to utilize any opportunities available.
If in Mbarara they are growing matoke, can you make juice and wine out of matoke with the knowledge you have learned from Chambogo University? People who are in engineering. Actually, this may not even report for engineering. It is you people in management to coordinate these people into engineering, and they do work for you. Most of you think that in agriculture there is no what? Money. You want to finish Usibeka and you get a job. And if you are lucky, you are going to get it.
The youth are also calling for government to revise its laws that relate to immigration so much and the migration so much that many of the youth instead can stay and work within the country. There should be this kind of enabling environment to enable them to work within their country, other than what we continue reading on media of so many youth flocking out of the country and eventually finding the related challenges that we always see on TV. And as I conclude, probably what I can say is that we have also during the course of the year come up with a research paper which we plan to disseminate at some point, that about the introduction of the shift approach to work. We are asking ourselves as NYAP, why should Uganda go to sleep, the whole country go to sleep in the night, for instance? Can't we find a way of utilizing the 24 hours so much that we make all the 24 hours productive hours? If, for instance, we have a shift in the formal sector of someone coming to work at 8 and ends at around 4, if for instance the manufacturing industry, and then another unemployed youth gets employment to come and work from 4 up to midnight and does the same work, assuming it is manufacturing chairs, for instance, the same person or the same number of chairs that were produced between 8 and 4 can still be produced by another energetic youth from 4 to midnight. And then at midnight, another energetic youth should be able to come and do work, so much that we find a whole chain of production all throughout the 24 hours. This is one thing that we want to sell to government as a solution to curb the unemployment challenge here in Uganda. And from me, I say ours is to enable the young people in this country to voice out and to engage meaningfully with government and all the other different parties, parents, religious leaders, cultural leaders, all the duty bearers that you can ever hear of, the policy makers, so much that once we have that channel of engagement, we believe that many solutions that are responsive to the needs of the young people will be reached at.